everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kuser, and today I brought you some story time. Yeah, story time with your good friend Kuser. I think so. I don't know if you guys see me as a friend. Hope you not. so, yeah. So I will tell you a little story of why I joined the circus and I left behind civilization and people because fuck people and whatever they have to say, I don't care. Actually, I'm more interested to show you some tricks and be on stage. And what I mean about stage is being in comics and show you what I can do in comics. And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say today. Yeah, I gonna use metaphors yet again just because, that will make some old fucking men, old bitches be mad. So lest those fucking old bitches be mad. So yeah, so that's why I choose to join the circus, being part of comics, creating comics, doing entertainment, trying to entertain people. And why I considered it being part of the circus? Because a lot of people will say that the career that you choose is nothing seriously. Well, it's not that serious. You will not gain money, a lot of money, like a monetary gain. You will not get it for your art or for your writing. Uh, um, you will never be in a you will never be a writer or as a good writer as American writers like white men. Like you will never be as good as them. But I said fuck all of that, and that's why I'm here, and that's why I'm doing comics, because I don't care what the fuck people have to say. I'm just here on the stage. Even though it is nobody in the audience, I don't care. I will still do tricks, even if it's nobody watching, you know? And that's how I do it. That's how I'm still here. And that's how I see things. And a lot of people will consider you as a clown, because a lot of people consider me a clown, a freak, as somebody who deserve to be dismissed, somebody who is crazy, who has mental illness, or somebody who is just pretending, or an actor or whatever. But no, actually, I've been doing comics all my life. I Most of you already know that. I've been drawing since I was a kid. Uh, and I grew up in a really, really religious household, really strict. So, um, all my childhood, I grew up in a Catholic school, and yeah, so kind of like expressing myself in art and drawing shit always was kind of like a taboo in my family. Um, my mother used to destroy all my drawings and all my books when I was a kid. Like most artists have their parents, like like putting in the fridge their drawings, and then stores them in somewhere, and they will show you later like, yo, you used to draw this when you were a kid. Nah, not in my family. Um, and you can ask my dear mother, my dear mother. Um, well, she will deny that she destroyed all my drawings, but there is no registry of my art when I was a kid because she used to just destroy everything and toss it on the fucking garbage because in this family there will be no artists, only lawyers and doctors and something that will bring money and power to the family and shit. So I said fuck all of that. And they just kicked me out. They kicked me out at 17, and by that time at since then I was just by myself. I've been in Texas. I went to Texas with my family-in-law because my mom married a dude from Texas, and so I stay with his family. And to be honest, I never felt more like an alien or a bastard child or I don't know, like a nuisance, somebody who who was just bothering everybody. Then just then well in just in Texas, just living in Texas and being with a lot of different people is kind of like weird. They will even like my family-in-law, they were like, they have to educate me to be part of the civilized war because I was a little weirdo. So I was I was at that time just living from one uncle house to another uncle's house, uncles in law, trying to do whatever, like cleaning and then working. So a lot of them they would say that I was turning too soft, so they just told me to go to work with the real men in the fucking desert in fucking Texas. So I don't fucking remember where. I don't fucking care. All of those years, I don't want to fucking remember. I don't care. I just know that I was working in the middle of the desert in Texas in a fucking station where we were fixing um, trucks and uh, like how you call that, like vehicles of transportation, but like big trucks where you know um, a lot of machinery for construction or stuff like that will be shipped to another city. So we were in the middle of nowhere, just to like a place where drivers can just fix their trucks and shit and like rest for a little bit. We will fix their shit and then they will just continue to their shipment of whatever they will have in the cargo and shit. So I used to work doing, well, I was changing oil, changing tires, and a little bit of mechanic shit here and there. And I always was dirty and shit. And that was around 2011, 2012. And in the middle of the fucking desert with a bunch of motherfucking old dudes, all motherfucking dudes. Those, how I can say this shit nicely. Those kind of people that they don't like you because you're kind of brown and weird, and they will tell you weird shit and and treat you weirdly. So yeah, I have to hang around with a lot of those people. So, um, kind of like I worked there for almost 2 years, saving money to just buy me a ticket to go live in New York. I was I I didn't have nothing else. I didn't At the time I was still in contact with my family, my mom and shit, but we never like, connected, nothing like actually like that. So I just said fuck it. I will just start my life again in New York, where dreams can come true and shit, where the glamour and the fucking, you know, the where Broadway is, where the actors are, where the singers and shit are. So I just saved like 20K and I moved to fucking New York. And then I tried to live in Brooklyn, but it was too expensive, so I moved to Jersey because it was comfortable, because at the time I was just living by myself, and my plan at the time was to find my way to work for Marvel or DC. Because as the clown as I am, I didn't know shit, because I was not that that deep into, let's say, the fandom that was growing in the internet at that time. So I was just still thinking that, okay, yeah. So my plan was I will go to New York and I will draw and I will do some scripts and I will bring it to Marvel or DC offices after work to see anybody. I was like that type of motherfucker who after work, and at that time, when I moved to New York, I started working as a dishwasher, because I'm brown, so I have to work on as a dishwasher, because that's a classic. It's a classic. So when I was fucking finishing my shift, or before my shift, I were just like waiting outside of Marvel or DC offices, waiting for somebody with a fucking badge that will say DC or Marvel to start like, presenting myself, like, yeah, I do comics, and I draw and I write, and most of the time, most people would think, most of the people that from Marvel and DC offices, they would think that, when I was doing that, they would think that I was asking for money, and or that was a bum or something like that, and they would just dismiss me. Most of the time, a lot of times happen, until one day, um I just remember that his name on the badge was Greg from DC. Told me that I can send all this shit um via internet, and he told me that a lot of people at that time were using Twitter and Tumblr to or DeviantArt to post their art and shit. So at that time, I wasn't too in tune in technology or nothing like that. I was just a dummy. I was just drawing, and I was like, okay, I will do comics. So that's why I'm saying that I'm a clown. I didn't knew that at that time that you have to be on the internet all the time. So yeah, I starting let's say I bought a computer, and then I get everything set up, the internet and everything, and I will start learning by myself at the first, where these guys were posting stuff Instagram. They were using Instagram too at that time, but around 2000, that my journey was started by 2011, 2012, but by 2014, 15, I was living in New York, well, Jersey specifically, and this when that was the time when I was trying to get a job in the mainstream. But at that time is when all these activists and all these weirdos they was starting, doing their stuff, starting doing their movements and shit, like, oh yeah, BLM, um, women's rights, uh, the the fucking third wave of feminism, it just exploded. Like around 2016, when Trump was elected, everything went to shit. Everything went to shit, bro. New York went cuckoo at that time. Everybody was hating everybody. Everybody was just crazy. Crazy. So I remember that I used to, when I was living in New York, that was my first time the I can just hang out at night, go to bars, meet up with other artists, and I was all the time hanging out with liberals and people who are progressives and stuff. And around 2016 and 17, they were starting, the all that artsy scene started to be more toxic and toxic, like just being a stray man in the art war in New York was a crime. So, and it still is a crime. And um, and yeah, so I was starting to to be in a, to starting to be considered a freak in those circles, even though the 2 years ago everything was fine. All those people in the art scene, they were cool to each other, but all these narratives, all these ideologies is starting to gain popularity, so a lot of people starting to use them to gain social and, you know economical power, because at that time everybody was afraid to be called racist or a rapist, uh, or a woman haters or some shit like that. So a lot of people have abused those kind of shit. So, and in the world of comics, they were starting using it heavily. And I thought that at first everybody understood that comics is entertainment. We are here to to do a show. Is a visual medium. Is something that has to be big. Has to be a show, and it has to be uh, something incredible to remember. And that was my point of view of comics and a lot of stuff. But a lot of people, they are insulted of this career. Most people don't like to be being considered comic artists or comic writers because it's not serious To be honest, most people would say that our career is just for retarded people or people who doesn't have any future, for bums, so for, yeah, idiots, retards, yeah, and that's why I accept all those fucking labels from my family, from other friends, other people. I don't even care. Like, yeah, I'm a clown. Yeah, I'm in the circus, and that's my intention. I, I'm fine here. I find my place. Where's your place? I'm not embarrassed of where I am or what I do. I enjoy what I do. I love what I do. I don't care if you see me that way, or you try to smear me because I do comics or I talk this way or that way, because most of the people are just pieces of shit in the internet. In most on these circles there is comics, because most people are nerds, and there are introverts, and it's easy to motherfuckers who are bullies to gain power, because they are just sociopaths, like fat sociopaths, and they just like to bully other people to just feel like they have power, but actually they're just lame ass white old people, fat people who are just sitting in their chairs without nothing else to do, to just complaining and cry like babies in the internet. Yeah, like that's weird. It's weird. And so yeah, that's everything that I have to say. Tell me that probably I misspoke some words here and there, that I didn't explain myself. I didn't give you too much context of what happened in my life. This is not an interview. I'm not here to give you every detail of my personal life. This is just hardly a resume. It's just a summary of what the fuck happened to me these couple years, and it's not even all of it. Um, Leave your comments if you understand half of the shit that I'm saying. Um, and yeah, what is the message of this video? Well, that I'm a freak, and I'm not embarrassed to be a freak, being considered a clown. Um, I enjoy being part of the freak show and being part of the circus. Um, I don't feel left behind. I where I have to be, and I enjoy where I am. I don't want to be nothing more the where I am, that I'm a writer and a creator of comics, and I'm just here to deliver. I'm not here to give you a persona, a false persona of where I'm not. I'm not acting. I'm not here to, I don't know, to impress you. Um, I'm just want to impress you in comics. That's other different thing. But yeah, that's what I'm here for. And if you feel the same way, if you vibe with me, you can ride with me. And if you dislike me, and probably you're here just hearing me to see what the fuck you can use to embarrass me or use it against me, well, go fuck yourself. Go eat a bullet, man. Go find something else to do. Be useful, okay? And stop being fat and gay. So that was my message. I'm Coozer.